In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting of the Atlantic County Board of Chosen Freeholders was provided in the following manner. Published in the Press of Atlantic City and mailed to the Current, the Daily Journal, the Hamilton Gazette, and the Hamilton News, and has been posted on the bulletin boards in the county office building in Atlantic City, the Stillwater building in Northfield, and the county clerk's office in Mays Landing. Before we begin this evening's meeting, I want to say a couple words. The events of the last couple of days are tragic. They need to be acknowledged as such and serve as an opportunity and catalyst for us as leaders to be a part of the change that is needed as we move forward from this point in history. As public servants and leaders in our community, it's our duty to work together to fight the injustice in our communities, our county, and our nation, alongside our neighbors and family and friends. Violence, however, and destruction, as we have witnessed, is not the answer and takes away from the right to peacefully protest, which we all enjoy as Americans. In response, the response by the community to clean up the aftermath on Monday as a community in Atlantic City demonstrated that when we work together, we can set an example, one that needs to be emulated as we move forward in fighting racism and injustice in our great nation. I'd ask us all to keep the citizens of our county and our great nation in everyone's thoughts. Now I'm going to, if everybody would like to bow their heads for our opening prayer. We pray, O Lord, that you will heal this nation, give peace and comfort to those who are in sorrow, give healing and strength to those who have suffered injury and hurt at this time. We ask, Lord, that you heal us as a people, that we may join hands and work together for the good of all. Grant us the wisdom and faith to see that only in you are true love and joy ever found. Where we have wandered from your will, put us back on the path you would have us follow. Where we have bitterness and hate, give us love and consideration for others. And from the ashes of hate and destruction, may we rise up as a nation, committed to your teachings and your will, and a light to the world. Amen. Now the flag salute. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I ready to have the roll call?
Vice Chairwoman Kern, as you know, Chairman Formica was unable to attend this evening's meeting.
Thank you.
Bennett?
Here.
Bertino?
Here.
Corsi?
I am present.
Days?
Here.
Fitzpatrick?
Here.
Gatto?
Here.
Risley?
Here.
And Kern.
Here. You've had an opportunity to review the minutes from April 21st, 2020. If there are no corrections, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the minutes as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any freeholder comments? Any comments from the public?
No comment.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes. Okay, that brings us into, we have Pat Diamond for our update. Is Pat here?
Chairwoman, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Thanks for being
Few
here.
updates. As indicated in the press release today, we have a total of 2,307 residents that have tested positive for COVID-19, 162 deaths, and they're primarily in the elderly population, and they all had underlying health conditions, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, as such. However, there have been, I'm happy to report, over 1,000 people that have recovered, meaning that they are free from isolation and they're okay to go back to work or resume their normal everyday duties. As far as testing is concerned, we have moved our testing site from the Hamilton Mall to behind the Public Works yard on Dolphin Avenue in Northfield. And the reason for the move was because it was too windy out there at the Hamilton Mall. The elements caused had to actually end one of our testing sites and actually not hold one on one day. So we wanted to get into an enclosed environment, and Public Works provided the necessary coverage, and we began last Tuesday, and today was our third testing day, which was successful, has been successful. To date, at that testing site, we have tested close to 1,800 people, and with a 24.9% positivity rate. Now, that means that the number of individuals tested at our site, almost 25% are tested positive. Compared to the state, and this is aggregate, the same as the state, they're about 30%. And we continue to see improvement in the positivity rate, meaning it's declining. Started the first day of 38%, and now it hovers around 22, 20%, 19%. So less people are appearing to be infected with the virus. We continue to offer testing. Our next testing is on Thursday, June 4th, and we actually put it an hour earlier, which is now 9 to 12 noon, and you can make an appointment on our website. The other thing is that just some updates as far as testing locations in our county. I'm happy to report that there have been some additions. In addition to the urgent care, Health Med in Atlantic City and Atlantic Care's urgent care, fairly qualified health centers have been added to the Atlantic Care site in Atlantic City. Also, Southern Jersey Family Medical Center is offering testing, walk-in testing in Hamilton and in Pleasantville. So we are very pleased to announce that. Also, 2 CVSs have come on board, one in Brigantine at 1300 Brigantine Boulevard. I'm sorry, at 4248 Harbor Beach Boulevard, Brigantine, and also at the CVS here in Pleasantville on Shore Road at the Merrill Pavilion, that Southern Jersey Family Medical Center. So with the addition of that, and also we have Atlantic City testing, continues to test at their drive-through at the Surf Stadium, and actually at their walk-in at the Showboat parking lot. So there have been an expansion of testing, which we are happy about. And with the expansion, we do expect to see more positive cases going through. There's also have been some updates regarding migrant farms. Last time I wasn't able to report that guidance for migrant farms had been received. Now that has been out there. It's in the hands of the growers, and testing has begun in Hamilton and began 2 days ago. Southern Jersey Family Medical Center is conducting the testing. They're also looking at partnering with another fairly qualified health center in Cumberland, Complete Care, because of the volume of tests that are needed. There are many, many workers at these farms, and to cover all of them within a short period of time, they're looking at engaging another fairly qualified health center to assist them. They're also having conversations with Atlantic Care as well. The other is that our long-term care facilities, they have tested, they extended their deadline to test all residents and staff from May 26th to May 30th. They are charged with testing everyone, staff and residents alike, and for those that test negative, to test them within 3 to 7 days, and that's to determine whether or not they convert to being positive. Because what they find in a long-term care facility, many of those individuals that initially test positive, on occasion do convert negative, do convert to be positive. And the reason why we want to take a look at that is we want to be able to isolate those individuals so that they don't transmit the disease. From then, they are required to test 3 to 7 days after that, and 7 days after that, to make sure that they're separating out the positives from the negatives so they can be protective of their residents. In addition to that, Atlantic City, the state did intend to expand testing in Atlantic City. They were named as one of the urban centers, in addition to Camden, Jersey City, and Newark. However, the testing supplies are not available as of yet. So as soon as they're obtained, they will be distributed to Atlantic City to set up additional testing sites. We are also working on opening facilities in our county. We have received information regarding the beach openings. We've been doing testing. The water results are good. We're going to be receiving guidance on outdoor retail dining and also on recreational bathing. So that pretty much sums up, I think, all the highlights that I have to report since last time. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Do any of the freeholders have any questions for Pat?
I have a question.
Okay, freeholder.
Thank you. Pat, what's going on at the jail? Is there any testing, any cases there?
We did ask the status of the testing that the State Department of Health indicated they were going to be going into partnership with the counties, and due to their lack of testing supplies, they're still working on that. They continue to work with justice facilities as far as infection control measures, and there have been no additional cases. In fact, as far as initially, they really took steps, especially with their correction officers, to wear masks, to wash their hands, wash frequently touched surfaces. So they're really, in that area has been minimal, but we have not had any additional cases.
Are the inmates wearing masks as well?
As far as if they're in proximity just for 10 minutes or more within 6 feet, they are directed to wear masks, if that's the case.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other freeholder comments or questions? Okay, thank you very much, Pat. I greatly appreciate you giving us the update.
Okay.
Okay, so I neglected to do the roll call on the vote for the minutes. So if I can have a roll call.
Bennett? Yeah. Bertino?
Yes.
Corson?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
And Kern.
Yes, motion passes. Okay, that brings us into our ordinances. So we have ordinance number 3 for a final reading.
An ordinance to vacate a 4,559 plus or minus square foot portion of the right-of-way of Buck Hill Road, County Route 645, adjacent to blocks 201, Lot 1 in Corbin City, Atlantic County, final reading.
Motion.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any freeholder comments? Any comments from the public since it's a final reading?
No comments.
Thank you, Pat. May we have a roll call?
Bennett?
Yeah.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Hayes?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
And Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Okay, that takes us to ordinance number 5, and this is a first reading, so there's no public comment on this one.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 9, 2014 of the Atlantic County Solid Waste Management Plan to revise the list of mandatory and recommended recyclable materials, first reading.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any freeholder comments?
Just a couple.
Freeholder?
Yeah, it's just to refresh everybody's memory if they haven't heard already. With China changing the way they're collecting recycling material, they've gotten pretty strict on contaminated products. To them, contaminated product would be like a pizza box that has a little oil on it. That's contaminated. They won't accept it. So this mirrors some of the changes in the market and moving forward, and for our facility to be more efficient as well.
Thank you, freeholder. Any further freeholder comments? Have a roll call?
Bennett?
Yeah.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey, Hayes,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
yes,
Gatto,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. That takes us into our resolutions, number 217.
Annual Open Space Trust Fund Tax 2020, final reading.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made in second. Any freeholder comments? Comments from the public?
No comments.
Thank you. Okay, roll call, please.
Bennett,
Yes.
Bertino,
Yes.
Coursey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
yes,
Gatto,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. That brings us into our grants, 246.
Grant application and acceptance from the New Jersey Department of Children and Families for the continued operation of the Atlantic County Family Success Centers and the Adolescent Pregnancy Prevention Initiative. Amount not to exceed $924,559.
Motion's been made in second. Any freeholder comments? Comments from the public?
No comments.
Okay, roll call.
Bennett, Bertino,
Yes.
Coursey,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
yes,
Gatto,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. 247.
Amendment to the Atlantic County Consortium Annual Action Plans for the Community Development Block Grant Program to reprogram funds unneeded to complete previous projects to the 2019 Project Street Improvements on Collins Avenue in Pleasantville.
moved,
Second.
Motion made in second. Any freeholder comments? Comments from the public?
Madam Chair,
Freeholder?
if there's no comments from the public, I want to thank Jerry for 247. I see some work in the city of Pleasantville. I want to thank you.
No, any comments from the public?
No comments.
Thank you. Roll call?
Yes.
Bertino,
Yes.
Coursey,
Of course, it's in Pleasantville, yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
yes,
Gatto,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. That brings us to 248.
State of New Jersey Department of Human Services Division of Disability Services, American Disabilities Act Transition Plan 2021 in the amount of $10,000.
Motion. Second.
Motion made in second. Any freeholder comments? Comments from the public?
No comments.
Thank you. Roll call?
Bennett,
Yes.
Bertino,
Yes.
Coursey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
yes,
Gatto,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. 249.
Extraordinary unspecifiable services contract with Glenn Insurance Incorporated to purchase a storage tank pollution liability with terrorism policy through I Insure for the county's 6 underground storage tanks. Amount not to exceed $8,016.57.
Motion. Motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you, freeholder. Motion made in second. Any freeholder comments?
Yes, I would like to comment. When we talked about this at the Budget Committee, I was very pleased to hear that two of the tanks are being studied to be replaced with above ground tanks, which of course is a better situation for our environment. And that there is testing that happens around the tanks on a regular basis to ensure that there are no leaks there.
Thank you, Freeholder. Any further Freeholder comments? Comments from the public?
Yes. Creed Pogue would like to know, where are the tanks located?
Jerry, can you answer? Creed? Jerry here? Sonia, is Jerry on?
This is Jim Ferguson. We have two in Hamilton, four in Northfield. I'm sorry, three in Northfield, one in Atlantic City.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Do we have any further comments from the public?
No, none, no comment.
Thank you, Pat. Roll call?
Bennett,
Yes.
Tino,
Yes.
Dorsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. 250?
Amending the interlocal agreement with the Atlantic County Improvement Authority for the administration of the fiscal year 2019 Community Development Block Grant to include the administration of CDBG CV funds amount not to exceed $704,535.
Motion.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any comments for the freeholders?
Chairwoman, just to make mention that in our discussion with the ACIA on community block development block grant funding and this additional funding from the CARES Act, we talked about not only things related to COVID and some of the obvious expenses that we've already discussed here in the freeholder meetings, but we talked about, looking at opportunities to help some of the, small businesses in some way that they've been struggling. And we also talked about looking into if there was some opportunity to help with businesses who may have sustained some damages from some of the protest issues that we've seen across the county. So I'm going to be working with the ACIA to continue to look for opportunities to help people and businesses through that CDBG funds. And of course, the ACEA is a great partner with them to help get information like that out. So I just wanted to highlight that.
Thank you, freeholder. Great comments. Any other freeholder comments? Comments from the public?
No comments.
Thank you. Roll call?
Bennett,
She responds.
Bertino,
Yes.
Dorsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. 251?
Intergovernmental Services Agreement with the City of Absecon for installation of improvements along a portion of Pitney Road, County Route 634, amount not to exceed $75,000.
Moved.
Second.
Second. Second. Oh, our chairwoman is muted.
Motion been made and second. Thank you. Motion been made and second. Any comments, further comments from the freeholders? Any comments from the public?
No comments.
Thank you.
Roll call?
Yes.
Down. I'm sorry. Was that, did you respond, Freeholder Bertino?
Yes.
Dorsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. 252.
Intergovernmental Services Agreement with the Township of Egg Harbor for the ownership transfer of certain roads.
Motion been made and second. Any freeholder comments? Comments from the public?
No comments.
Thank you. Roll call?
Bennett,
Yes.
Bertino,
Yes.
Corsi,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. 253.
Acceptance of deeds, easements from various grantors in accordance with the Atlantic County planning standards.
Motion.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any freeholder comments? Comments from the public?
No comments.
Thank you. Roll call?
Bennett,
Yes.
Bertino,
Yes.
Corsi,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. 254.
Alternate method contract with Trapeze Software Group Incorporated to provide software maintenance for the Atlantic County Transportation Unit, amount not to exceed $51,000.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any freeholder comments? Comments from the public?
No comments.
Thank you. Roll call?
Yes.
Bertino,
Yes.
Corsi,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. 255.
Amended emergency contract with Nell Bud Services Group to provide emergency cleaning services to the Atlantic County Justice Facility to extend term date. Net increase $63,840.
Motion.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any freeholder comments?
Chair,
Yes, freeholder.
through you to Jerry, once again, Jerry, is it my understanding they're still doing the jail at least twice a week for outside contractors? As a previous conversation we had with the mayor when we had some concerns in the jail, I think you indicated the jail gets cleaned on at least a detailed cleaning, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, from an outside contractor. So what we're doing is adding additional $63,000.
Yes, and they're in there all day. I mean, they're cleaning. They're the actual cleaning service right now. They're in there through the evening, and this is for another 6 weeks. I think they told the budget subcommittee they'll be in this contract for another 6 weeks, and then if we need further, they're putting specifications together that was asked by the budget subcommittee. Do we think we're going to need this beyond the next 6 weeks? If we do, they're going to go out to bid. And then we'll have individual companies bid on this contract until the end of the year.
Okay, Jerry, I'm not objecting to it at all. Is this going to be used as part of the $700,000 from the feds for the through CDBG?
Well, it'll be a combination of all the dollars we've been getting. That's correct. Yes, right.
So
Some of it could be the CDBG. Some of it could be other funding that we've been receiving.
So let me ask you a question. I didn't make the budget meeting the other day. So are there lots of money that's coming from the feds that you can use towards this COVID-19? I was specifically referenced to 700,000 Menendez and Booker sent down. I don't know if you was using that pot of money to pay for this. It sounds like you got other pots of money.
Yes,
out there,
correct. Yeah,
to pull from.
that's correct. Yes.
Have you used any of that 700,000 at all?
Yes, yes, we have. Yes. For a number of that, just so you know, this money, the 704 comes through the HUD, just, Community Development Block Grant Funding, as you know. So a number of the dollars will go toward the test site. That will go for some of the homeless issues as well that we've had, and you're familiar with that because
Well, I'm familiar with that.
hotels in Atlantic City. That's correct. Right.
I'm definitely familiar with that part.
Right.
Okay, thanks, Jerry.
Ernest, Chairwoman, if I can, just two other points. We talked about, if you remember, that initial 100,000 that we approved to order the test kits and other emergency contracts out of I think it was the Treasury account. We are going to be replenishing, some of those type of costs with some of these other different sources of money that are coming in as we get different sources from COVID. And then the other thing, the warden was on our subcommittee call, and understandably you were very busy Monday morning. And he did mention that he felt with the information they were getting that they would be starting to have the type of inmates back in the jail within 6 weeks that would normally be doing that cleaning work. So, we'll see what happens in 6 weeks.
Thank you so much for the update. Again, you indicated Monday was not an easy day, but as it may, we got through it. Jerry, while we on the same subject, and I'm done with that part of it, I have been requested to ask the county if they could provide, since we're talking about the county jail, the number of inmates that was let go out on the bracelet, the number of inmates who might have been affected by the COVID-19 issue, not names, that they just looking for numbers. I told them I would ask you for it, but since we brought it up, I asked you before I forget.
Okay. So you want me to just, I'll give you an email tomorrow, or you want to?
That's fine.
That's fine. Okay, very good. Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Any further freeholder comments or questions? Any comments from the public?
No questions.
Thank you. Roll call?
Yes.
I can't hear you, but yes.
Yes.
Is Sonia on mute?
Sonia's on, now she's not.
Fitzpatrick?
Karen on mute.
Yes.
We'll get this down.
Gatto?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
And Kern?
Yes, motion carries. 256.
Emergency contract with various vendors for the purchase of emergency cleaning and sanitizing services at various Atlantic County buildings, amount not to exceed $175,000.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any freeholder comments? Any comments from the public?
Yes. Creed Pogue in reference to Resolution 256. I know this is an emergency, but the contract started 2 months ago. Is there any way to provide a way for outreach to local businesses that may be able to do smaller parts of the contract as opposed to out-of-county vendors?
Jerry?
Can you hear me?
I couldn't get to unmute. Yeah. As this begins to progress, we'll do the same thing that we're going to do with the jail, and that is put specifications together and go out and bid this as this goes along, and that'll give everybody an opportunity to bid on the contracts. These were emergency because we had situations where we had cases that occurred in the in our buildings, and we wanted to make sure that we met all the conditions of the CDC, and that is we were using a sanitizing process.
Thank you, Jerry. Any further
Chairwoman.
comments?
Chairwoman, if I could just also mention, I didn't actually see the locations of these on the bidder sheet that we have here, but just as an example, ServPro, I know, it's done by, I guess, a local office around here. In fact, they've been going around and uh, from a donation perspective, actually cleaning and sanitizing local firehouses and fire trucks and things like that. I didn't see that they were out of county in particular, but I do believe these are businesses that are employing local people and doing great things in our county. Just wanted to highlight that.
Thank you, Freeholder. Any other comments from the public?
No comments.
Thank you. Roll call?
Bennett,
Yes.
Tina,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. 257.
Madam Chair, if I may, before we go any further, let me just went back to my phone. I want to be corrected. I do have that information regarding the inmates, et cetera, and I had to scroll back. And Jerry, thank you so much.
Thank you, Freeholder. 257.
Emergency contract with Icofano Group Limited Liability Corporation for the purchase of frozen meals and shelf-stable meals to the Atlantic County Division of Intergenerational Services Nutrition Program participants. Amount not to exceed $400,000.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any Freeholder comments?
Chairwoman.
Yes, Freeholder.
I just want to mention, because this was explained to us in the budget subcommittee meeting, and I thought it was a really outside the box thinking approach that our staff took to make sure that we were continuing our nutrition program to our seniors and needy population. They apparently were having some issues obtaining some of the food that we need to actually provide the meals. So they were able to find this company that would make freshly prepared meals, flash freeze them, and deliver them directly to our folks, so that they would have a week full of meals that they could put in their freezer and take out and then create a hot meal for the week. So it was a really great approach, I thought, to a problem where, we could have potentially just said, hey, we can't get the food, we have to discontinue this program. They really, sought a way to make sure that we were serving this population who really needed it. And I just wanted to give kudos to our staff on that.
Thank you, Freeholder. Any other Freeholder comments? Comments from the public?
No comment.
Thank you. Roll call?
Bennett,
Sorry.
Bertino,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. 258.
License and hold harmless agreement with the developers of lots 1.01 and 1.02, block 203 in the city of Absecon concerning construction of and maintenance of brick pavers and other streetscape improvements within the right-of-way of New Jersey Avenue, County Route 601.
Moved.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any Freeholder comments?
Just also want to mention that Absecon, I think this is the one, Jared, correct me if I'm wrong, is sharing the cost of some of these improvements because they've requested some and some were going to have to be done in the future anyway. So this is a good partnership with our local towns.
Thank you, Freeholder. Any further Freeholder comments? Comments from the public?
No comment.
Thank you. Roll call?
Yes. Bertino,
Yes.
Corsi,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. And I'll take a motion to combine and adopt 259 to 262.
So moved.
Motion, second.
Motion been made and second. Any Freeholder comments?
Just want to mention, I do see Mr. Sless is on the participant list, so just want to say thanks for having interest in and even participating on our board.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Sless. Any further Freeholder comments? Comments from the public?
No comments.
Thank you. Roll call?
Bennett,
Yes.
Bertino, Corsi,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. And then we have a Freeholder-sponsored Resolution 263.
Resolution declaring June 2020 as Men's Health Month in Atlantic County. Sponsor Karen L. Fitzpatrick.
Second.
Move this.
Okay.
Motion's made and second. Freeholder Fitzpatrick?
Thank you very much. When I was reading and came upon this, I thought Men's Health Month, I've never heard of that. But in 1994, Congress declared Men's Health Month in June, and the week before Father's Day, Men's Health Week. And so while reading about it, I found that men go to the doctor half the number of times that women do. And it's because they think they can take care of themselves and just work their way through it, whatever's bothering them. And also men tend to be less insured than women. They don't have medical insurance at the same rate as women do, and die an average of 5 years younger than the average age for women. And for minorities, the discrepancy is even higher. So as we have had a cultural change where women have annual physical exams and regular mammograms, men also should have regular doctor visits, making an effort to stay active and eat healthily. And when we get to a certain age, all of a sudden you're hearing about PSAs and prostate exams and things like that. And this is a very, very common but manageable illness, and men should get early detection, go see your doctor, and then it's quite probable that everything can be taken care of. So I thought this was an important thing to acknowledge, as men make up almost half the residents of Atlantic County. Women are in majority here in the county, but we love our men, so let's have a resolution for them. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Freeholder. Any other Freeholder comments? Comments from the public?
No comments.
Thank you. Roll call?
Bennett,
Yes.
Bertino,
Yes.
Corsi,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. That concludes the written portion of our agenda. Do we have any reports of special committees of the board? Okay, do we have any unfinished business?
Madam Vice
Yeah.
Chairwoman, the Public Health Officer, Patricia Diamond, just wanted to make sure that she stated the correct address of the pharmacy. She thought she might have said something other than what it was. So there's two pharmacies, CVS Pharmacy, located at 3313 Brigantine Boulevard, which is a nasal self-swab 7 days a week, and the other is CVS Pharmacy, 900 New Road in Pleasantville.
Thank you. Do we have any new business? Do we have any written communications or petitions? Okay, we'll now open the public comment portion. Anyone that would like to speak, please come to the podium or to the screen with any comments and state your name and address.
Creed Pogue. This is a very difficult medium. Even when the tech works well, which it has had its difficulties today, there is one vendor located in Gloucester County, not trying to single anybody out, but questions should be asked about an emergency contract let 2 months ago.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Creed.
Can anybody hear me?
I'm sorry, who was that?
Hi,
Jerry.
Jerry Griffin.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know that the two lowest bidders, the contract proposals we received back were from local contractors, Zelbud in Egg Harbor City and also ServPro in Egg Harbor Township. Those are the two of the 5 lowest proposals we received back for the emergency cleanings.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any further comments?
No additional comments.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll close the public portion. Do we have any comments for the good of the order?
Madam Chair?
Freeholder?
Yeah, first of all, let me thank my colleagues, those who called to voice their concerns about what happened in Atlantic City over the weekend. And I want to thank you personally for your calls. Some of them I did not get to respond back. As you know, we have been busy and unfortunate situations. But again, want you to know it was not taken unnoticed and unappreciative. So thank you all so very much. I just want to thank a couple, if I can. Thank you to the New Jersey State Police, to the Atlantic County Sheriff's Department, to the Atlantic County Corrections Officers, to Atlantic County for all the assistance that they provided to Atlantic City on behalf of Mayor Small's administration, along with Police Chief White of Atlantic City Police Department, our Emergency Management Officer / Fire Chief Evans, and all our first responders for an outstanding job in this situation in Atlantic City. Certainly to Governor Murphy and to the New Jersey State Police who showed up. My opinion was, I wish they could have got there a little bit earlier. Most of the damage probably would not have taken place, but thank God they got there when they did. But I want to thank all the volunteers that came out yesterday. The mayor called a press conference, as probably many of you saw, either Facebook Live or in the newspaper. And he challenged people to come down and help clean up. It is unfortunate when folks come to your town, tear up. We had some locals, don't misunderstand. There were some locals involved in them demonstrations that did the loitering and breaking out windows and snatching stuff. And that's their conscience. But let me be very clear. A lot of those folks who was in this rally was not from Atlantic City, not really from the area. We are told that folks are getting paid to go to different rallies, $50 bus window snatch and grab, and whatever you get, you can have it, just to cause ruckus in various communities. The protests started out good on Sunday in front of the public safety building, and then once they began to walk down through the shopping districts for the expressway up onto the boardwalk and back off, some of the locals who led the protest left, but they were able to go and basically stake out the city where they wanted to do their damage. And I make no qualms about it. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again today. Stephen Young needs to be charged for inciting the riot. Anytime you tell people we're going window shopping and come back and shop later, it is unacceptable. Steve has been in this community a long time, and that is not the type of protest people should participate in. I'm not saying he encouraged them to do all the damage they did, but the comments says a lot. Your words matter, and folks took it and they ran with it, and it's unfortunately. But the people who showed up yesterday, far and near, don't know them, don't live here, but they took the time out to come to Atlantic City to clean up at the business district in the walk. We thank them public. We thank them then. I thank them now, not only as the mayor's chief of staff, but as the freeholder of that district. And to all the well wishers who've called us. But I will say this: I had a conversation with Chairman Famika yesterday, and it was interesting. We were talking about Mr. Tangler, who owns the Tangler outlets, and that one thing we don't want him to do is to pull out and shut down the shopping districts, because that's a draw for conventions that come to Atlantic City, as most of us know, and certainly Maureen knows, because that's a selling point. If they close those shops down, one, folks have no jobs. Two, you'll have an empty district. We already doesn't get taxes on the property because the land is owned by the state of New Jersey. We get a donation in lieu of taxes, I call it. But be as it may, I would be remiss if I didn't stop to thank all of those who fulfilled that it was not robbery to come and to assist us in Atlantic City, our public works department, you name it, everybody pitched in and did what they could do in a matter of hours, with the exceptions of a bunch of board up windows. The walk was cleaned up by the Special Improvement District, which is an agency of the CRDA. Matt Doherty, under his leadership, again, Chief White and his police pool, and the nearby police officers who could assist us in Atlantic City. We have a curfew in effect in Atlantic City, 7 p.m. until June 8th. And trust me when I tell you, if you're out there, you will get locked up. There is no tea for the fever. We're not taking it. We still have some looters out there. They did an outstanding job in terms of the sheriff's department helping us out overnight, the Atlantic City Police Department, the state police, and others. And so if you know somebody, you can tell them. If you in Atlantic City and you anywhere in that district, and you're not supposed to be here, you can rest assured you will be arrested. As you know, 17 people was arrested. 6 was from Atlantic City. It was only 6 that they caught. But be as it may, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. But again, I didn't want it to go without thanking all of them who participated in assisting us on yesterday. We are preparing for a Black Lives Matter rally on Saturday. We hope it is peaceful if in fact they show up. And if it chooses to get out of hand, we believe that we would be in a position with the necessary law enforcement agencies to do whatever rest they will need to do. And so with that, Madam Chair, thank you for allowing me a few moments to say to my colleagues, thank you so very much. So goes Atlantic City, goes the state of New Jersey. And at the end of the day, we got other fish to fry. With these folks being out of work so long, we're trying to get casinos open, hotels open, restaurants open. And this is the last thing we needed to have a black eye on Atlantic City. And so with that, Madam Chair, I just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to address my colleagues.
Thank you very much, Freeholder. Do we have any other Freeholder comments?
Chairwoman.
Freeholder?
Thank you. First of all, Freeholder Corsi, let me just, commend you and the team and echo all the sentiments that you just made. I just shot you a text and said, have you slept yet? Because I know that you have been working around the clock, and I think Mayor Small's impassioned speech on Sunday night was important, and I thought he did a great job. And I just can't say enough to local law enforcement, first responders in Atlantic City and the surrounding areas. And we've seen so much happening across the county now. Hamilton Township has now just instituted a 7 o'clock curfew starting today until next Tuesday. And I know that's happening similarly in different towns. So just make sure you're checking on that from a public perspective. And I'm sure we all are struggling as leaders to know, like, what do we do next? How do we move forward? What are the right next steps? And just want to say, the door's open here virtually. And if there's any community groups that are trying to do and they want our help, I think I can speak for us all safely to say we're here for you. I had the opportunity to sit on a call on Monday with the Attorney General, the prosecutors of the 4 southern counties, members of the Coalition for Safe Communities, the Black clergy members, and they really opened up a really great dialogue to talk about, what are the action items? What are our next steps? How do we get the dialogue moving? And I think we're going to see a lot of great work coming out of that working group, and the Attorney General addressed some of the things that they're even looking at the state level in today's press conference with the governor. So we're here to help keep Atlantic County moving forward in every capacity that we possibly can. But if I could just highlight maybe some happier news and important news, 2 things. First of all, primary elections. Now that we're in June, couple key dates to keep in mind. June 16th, which is just 2 weeks away, is the last day to register to vote in the primary election, which will be held on July 7th. And if you are applying for a mail-in ballot because you are an undeclared voter, those have to be received by June 30th. Must be returned to the county clerk by June 30th for the application for either a Republican or a Democrat ballot. Those who are registered will be receiving their ballots automatically in the mail without having to do an application. So just be mindful of that. Atlantic County put out a press release with all of the details related to returning ballots, drop boxes, the mail, things like that on our website. So check that out. And then the final point, as we talk about graduations that should be or could have been happening, Atlantic Cape community has their graduation, obviously not happening in person, but it's something that we need to be celebrating because they do a lot of great work putting out quality education at a great cost to members of our community. And we had something really special happen this year. It would have been a first time that our class of aviation from the Aviation Academy would have been graduating. And so, as I understand it, it was the first round of our programming where students came from the high school level and then continued that program at ACCC and would now be graduating. So that's kind of our first step in some of our educational components of our aviation economic development here in the county. With the work that we've been doing with the ACEA, and I think it's something that should be recognized because it's a result of a lot of hard work to get that all stood up across the educational institutions and have that first set of graduates coming out. So we all wish them happy graduation and the best of luck as they move forward in the next steps of their careers. So thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder. Do we have any other Freeholder comments? No comments at this time. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved in second.
It's early.
Moved in second. Motion carries.
Good night.
Good night,
Have
all.
a good evening.
Everybody
Good
stay
night.
safe.
Have a great evening.